What's up, guys? Disclosure Artist here, back in the car, getting a little peace and quiet from the homestead. I wanted to do a video about something that I've gotten asked multiple times by multiple people, which was what were some of the most interesting passengers that I've ever had. And oftentimes, in just a passing, fleeting conversation, I don't really like to get into it. People ask me, have you ever had any crazy passengers? And that's a relative term. I don't really like to use that word, but I will point out some noteworthy people that I've come across while doing my civil service, as I refer to it. Two individuals specifically. They have nothing to do with each other. The first one being a woman who I had actually two different encounters with, because the first one, she basically, I believe we ended up getting into a very heartfelt, emotional conversation about life, consciousness, spirituality. And by the end of the conversation, both of us had tears in our eyes, and it was a very, very powerful bonding experience. Just for me specifically, it reminded me of how much connection two human beings can have who are seemingly completely unrelated, totally unknown to each other, total strangers, but really, perhaps, we've always known each other. It was just a very, very profound conversation. And like I said, by the end of it, our eyes were both welled up with tears. And the woman ended up actually leaving a very important set of keys in my car. And she even offered to pay me an additional $100 just to bring them to her, because I guess the circumstances were such that if she didn't get that set of keys back, then it would ultimately dissolve one of her most important relationships. The person who entrusted her to keep the keys for them would have lost all faith and hope in her and the friendship. And ultimately, I had the power in my hands to control that situation for her. So naturally, I met her at the designated location that we agreed upon and gave her her keys back, whereupon she mentioned to me that she felt as though I might be an extraterrestrial. And that really got me thinking about, why some of us are here and what we're really doing and what our purpose is. So that's just the first person. The second person, again, completely unrelated, was actually sitting right here in my passenger seat. This guy, I have to say, was weird. It was a late night ride. The first ride was a daytime ride. This was a late night ride. I believe it was somewhere downtown. And this guy was wearing blue shorts, sports shorts, and he was wearing a blue windbreaker. It said U.S. Air Force with an insignia right here. And we ended up, of course, disclosure artist, getting into the conversation. Anyway, what this guy divulged to me was the following facts: was that he was raised by Germans in South America, and that Nazism is very much still prevalent in this country. And the key points that, again, I was able to walk away with from this conversation were that he chuckled at the fact that a lot of these so-called whistleblowers, and the word that he used was dubious, and that, a lot of these people that are coming forward making money or whatever, there's nothing wrong with profiting, but you got to always be suspect. But anyway, he, I guess, was trying to lead me on to the concept that there's a lot of misinformation out there, which is fine. We know this. He also said that the general public would basically shriek in terror if they were to know about the true nature of extraterrestrials. I don't necessarily take everything that he said for face value, but it was interesting to hear him say that he didn't believe in the concept of humanoid ETs, and that ETs were basically probably just limited to the scary variety. This guy could have been an agent, he could have been a programmed life form, he could have been an ET himself. I don't know. Either way, after this conversation, the manner in which he exited my vehicle and then made his way down the sidewalk seemed nothing short of robotic. He literally was moving as if he was a jointed being. It was just very bizarre, and I'll never forget it. And those were definitely by far the two most interesting passengers that I've had in the 4-year period of driving this car. All right, that's all for now. Take care.